Chapter 16 Echoes of Esthar. Squall's vision blurs in Esthar's radiant glow, Rinoa's comatose weight grounding him as Elone's unseen touch draws his mind into a past where the annals of a world shackled by tyranny, Laguna, Kairos, and Ward toil at a desolate worksite in Esthar's sprawling technological alleys, their arrival months prior, seeking Elone, only to find the city under Sorceress Adele's brutal occupation. Now a distant memory, their worn jackets frayed, Laguna's machine gun hidden beneath rubble, Kyros's daggers of Ward's harpoon stowed, bodies aching from constant labour under the watchful eyes of silver-armoured Esthar soldiers, hunger gnawing alongside countless labourers and Moombas alike, the clank of chains and hum of arcane drills, a relentless din, yet their spirits unyielded, whispering plans to find Elone amidst the dust and despair. Drawn to murmurs of defiance, they joined a clandestine resistance, forged by workers and citizens chafing under Adele's yoke, plotting to topple the sorceress and the regime. Laguna's earnest vow to save Elone kept secret whilst he earned trust, his leadership subtly shaping their cause. During one of the many uprisings in Esthar's distant quarters, fires flaring and shouts echoing, the trio seizes the chaos to slip their worksite, guided by a hooded insider, a resistance informant, who reveals the precious information that Dr. Odin, a scientist once fixated on the lunar Pandora's cosmic might, now turns his sights on a young girl, perceived with special powers unknown, holding the key to her whereabouts. The resistance offering aid in a mutual pact to challenge Adele, seeing Laguna's skill as a spark for rebellion. With informant's whispers, Laguna, Kyros and Ward infiltrate Odin's research facility, its neon-lit crystalline halls pulsing, weaving past Esthar soldiers as civil unrest surges. The uprising's chaos easing their path to Odin's quarters. With only minimal security soldiers they must dispatch off, eventually find the quarters of Odin, confronting the scientist amidst flickering consoles. Learning Elone is held across the complex in a fortified cell. Racing through the facility, felling soldiers with bullets, daggers and harpoon strikes, Laguna can only think how easy this has been. How many more even inside Adele's regime opposer? Questions for another time as he focuses entry to the cell block. Once Kyros figures the manifest and locations the cell of Elone, they race towards it. Knowing time is finite, Ward shatters the cell's locks. Finding Elone, her small frame trembling, Laguna enveloping her in a fierce embrace, his voice thick with relief, thanking the heavens she's safe, vowing never to leave her behind. Kyros and Ward standing guard, their bond a steadfast shield. Squall, tethered to Laguna's mind, feels the echo of his own vow to save Rinoa. Elone's rescue a mirror across time, the facility's hum fading as Esthar's neon spires loom, the historian's vision tracing a rebellion spark in a city of light and shadow. Squall and the party jolt awake from Elone's vision, the Laguna flashback fading, sprawled in Esthar's crystalline plaza. Rinoa's comatose form heavy in Squall's arms, as a sleek vehicle hums near. An Esthar representative in flowing silver-blue robes stepping forward, his voice calm but firm, asking their purpose in Esthar, revealing they've been watched, warning against violence, Idea responding that they seek Dr. Odin, Squall interjecting with urgency, demanding to see Elone also, the man nodding, confirming via a muffled communicator with his finger pressed to his ear it's safe, urging them aboard. The vehicle glides through Esthar's metropolis, a marvel of technology. Hovercars weaving along elevated tracks, holographic signs flickering, transport tubes pulsing with light, drones patrolling, all powered by a fusion of arcane energy and circuitry. The party awestruck, marvelling at crystalline towers and airships. Squall, stoic as one can be, focused, asking their destination. The representative confirming the presidential palace, a towering edifice of silver spires that pierced the violet desert sky, its facade pulsing with intricate neon veins, reflecting off a translucent dome that encircles the city. The structure's vast silhouette, crowned by sleek airships drifting silently, casting shadows over polished plazas, bustling with robed scholars. The palace's grandeur, a testament to Esthar's arcane and technological might. Its gates looming as a beacon of secrets yet unveiled. In its vast lobby of the presidential palace, Dr. Odin is waiting to greet them. A wiry man with wild hair, round spectacles, and a nasal voice, his lab coat fluttering, stuttering that he was briefed on their needs during their journey via his aide. He turns welcoming Idea to discuss sorceress matters. Squall angrily demanding Elone's whereabouts to save Renoa. Odin agreeing on the condition that he examine Renoa, mumbling curiously about her state as Esthar doctors rush out, whisking her onto a bed before Squall can respond. The aide assures Squall and the party that Renoa rests safely under Dr. Odin's care. Even if his manner slightly awkward, it is underpinned by heroic resolve, easing their fears with earnest words. He directs them to journey east across Esthar's radiant sprawl, where the Lunar Gate stands beyond the city's protective limits, a beacon for their quest. Granting city passes, clearance and quarters, the aide encourages rest and then exploration before meeting at the Lunar Gate, reassuring everyone that there is time for such endeavours and that they are safe. The party in need of rest. Read Squall's stern look, they can see the anxiousness that resides in his brow. The pain of Renoa's situation is clear to all. Zell insists on heading out, reminding them of the stakes at hand. Energized by his Zell's commitment to his friend, the rest of the party rally they gather, and ensure that they will continue together. As Squall and the party step onto Esthar's shimmering streets, crystalline towers and pulsing neon ignite their amazement. The city's vibrant hum, woven with gliding airships and holographic glows, unfolds a utopian marvel. A radiant contrast to their weary journey, stirring awe in their hearts. Esthar's intricate pedestrian transport tubes, glass conduits snaking past bustling malls, towering libraries, and sleek commercial spires. Robed citizens gliding on moving walkways, all hidden by its cloaking veil. At the east gate, an aide awaiting them provides a vehicle, explaining the Lunar Gate lies beyond the city's protective wall. The party marvelling at Esthar's secluded paradise, their chatter on its utopia fading as they drive to the Lunar Gate. A colossal structure of gleaming steel and glowing panels, its ramp-like frame towering over the violet desert. A runway nexus of arcane and technological might, pulsing conduits linked to the heavens, its purpose veiled. Squall's wandering mind fixated on Renoa's absence, and Elone's promise driving him toward the gate's shadowed threshold. After entering the party, are quickly escorted to gather in the preparation chamber. Its crystalline walls aglow with bioluminescent circuits, holographic consoles casting starlit patterns across the sterile floor, where technicians in sleek white uniforms calibrate translucent capsules, explaining that cold sleep will shroud them in numbing stasis, erasing sensation as boosters propel them to lunar realms, awakening under distant stars. Rinoa's pod humming softly, her comatose form bathed in gentle light. A technician, voice clipped, reveals limited capsule space, allows only Squall and one more to ascend. Irvine's rifle steady, he quickly offers to aid Squall, understanding the risk associated, his nod resolute with a sharpshooter's calm, while Zell, fists clenched, steps forward to lead Selphie, Quistis, and Adea back to Esthar's radiant spires to consult Dr. Odin, his gruff assurance rallying their resolve, Adea's robes swaying as she gives the faintest of smiles, looking at Zell as she trusts the path ahead. Squall's thoughts fixed on Alone's promise to save Rinoa, exchanges a firm glance with Irvine, their shared burden reflected in the chamber's stark glow, while party's unity unbroken despite the divide. The technicians guide Squall and Irvine to their capsules, medical drones sweeping beams across Rinoa's pod, its web of light casting eerie shadows. The arcane reactors hum, swelling as the chamber seals. Squall's heart tethered to Rinoa's silent struggle, and Alone's distant warmth. Reaching for the stars, the lunar gate's towering frame trembles with arcane might, its steel chambers aligning like a revolver's cylinder, each capsule cradling Squall, Irvine, Ossern, and Rinoa's comatose form. Its steel chambers aligning like a revolver's cylinder, locked into place with a resonant clank, as Zell, Selphie, Quistis, and Adea stand on the violet desert's edge, their eyes fixed skyward, the machinery erupting in a symphony of grinding gears, whirring servos, and pulsing arcane hums. Glowing conduits flaring with a crackling hiss, the air vibrating with a deep, resonant boom as the mechanism spins, launching the pod in a fiery burst, through the translucent barrels aimed to the sky beyond, their pod streaking past Esthar's shimmering dome, vanishing into the starlit void. A testament to Esthar's fusion of sorcery and technology. Born from the sorceress war's ambition to conquer the cosmos, the onlookers' breaths held, their vision tracing a cosmic leap fueled by sacrifice and hope. As a world balances on destiny's cusp, the lunar gate's fiery launch fade into Esthar's violet sky. Zell, Selphie, Quistis, and Adea on the desert's edge, their eyes fixed upward until a colossal monolith breaches the heavens, a gargantuan enigma of obsidian and shadow, its jagged spires twisting like ancient thorns, wreathed in crackling arcane pulse with an otherworldly hum, its faceted surface swallowing light, adorned with cryptic glyphs that shimmer faintly revealing the Esthar coat of arms, a spectral leviathan hovering towards Esthar's crystalline towers, its silent descent unleashing shrieking sirens and dimming the city's neon pulse, citizens weaving a tapestry of reactions, some fleeing in primal fear, others rooted with curious stares, their murmurs blending with echoes of Sorceress Adele's oppressive reign, dreading a shadow's rebirth. Zell, fists tight, seizes command with a gruff call, urging the party to seek Dr. Odin for answers. Stirred by a new threat, their mission entwined with Squall and Rinoa's celestial quest, the party rush back to the city's limits from the Lunar Cry's launch site, weaving back through Esthar City's futuristic veins, past faltering holographic signs and bunkers bearing wards against Adele's faded tyranny, the air alive with the clang of sealing shutters, the buzz of arcane barriers, and the murmurs of onlookers peering from elevated walkways, their curiosity a spark in the chaos of the shadow that is now cast over Esthar. Shimmering transport tubes, now shells of life they once had. The screech of sirens blare over the murmurs of locals. The citizens' faces a mosaic of fear and curiosity, reflecting Esthar's resilient spirit. The party push on, racing to the presidential palace's silver spires, where Dr. Odin holds answers to this cryptic peril. Arriving at the presidential palace, they are quickly ushered to the doctor's quarters. Glances exchanged between Zell and Quistis during the lift ride up, hinting at more questions than answers they have at this moment. Their breathless arrival halting as muffled voices become clear as they approach the opening door to Dr. Odin's lab. His wiry frame hunched over flickering holographic display, voice sharp with agitation. His thought aloud questioning why the lunar Pandora has appeared over Esthar now. An assistant in sleek white garb responding with urgency, revealing intelligence that Galbadians salvaged the enigmatic structure, urging an immediate alarm to rouse the city's defences to Odin's disagreement, hinting that they, Esthars, are not the target. A surge of resolve overcomes Zell as he strides toward Doctor. Odin, his fists clenched and voice thundering with urgency, demanding what the lunar Pandora is and why Galbadia's shadow looms over Esthar's fate, the officer's arcane hum amplifying the weight of his plea. Dr. Odin meets Zell's fervent demand with restless zeal as he unveils history of the lunar Pandora, a colossal relic of Esthar's ancient sorcery and technological prowess forged under his meticulous design during Sorceress Adele's reign to probe mystic energies and temporal boundaries. Its obsidian spires and pulsing conduits a testament to his ambition, abandoned in secrecy after Adele's fall. And harnessing the crystal pillar, a mystic core pulsing within its obsidian spires, capable of summoning the lunar cry, a cataclysmic surge of monstrous forces from the moon, only to be salvaged by Galbadia's reckless grasp. Odin predicts its destination, drifting toward Tyr's Point, a fabled nexus of arcane resonance. Lunar Cry's point of origin determined by Esthar scientists, found east of Esthar on the city's Great Plains, the Pandora's ominous path, a harbinger of chaos threatening Esthar's fragile peace, insists Odin. Zell's brow stern but shaken, Selphie's gasp tinged with dread, Quistis's sharp mind already attempting to weaving strategic threads, and Adea's sombre gaze heavy with sorceress legacies, their thoughts momentarily distracted by Squall and Renoa's lunar quest. Odin's pride in his creation wavers with unease for its misuse, his history a blend of genius and regret. When Zell, voice resolute, steps forward, vowing to halt the Pandora's advance, galvanizing the party to form a daring plan to infiltrate its shadowed depths. Their unity a spark in the office's sterile hum. Odin accepts and directs his team for the calculations, instructing Zell that based on the trajectory, there are only 3 points they could board the vessel in the city as it passes. The party grabs the coordinates, syncing their watches to the timings provided. Zell, with his usual zest of energy, rallies the others, emphasizing the lack of time they have, as he urgently rushes out, and the rest follow. Zell leads Selphie, Quistis, and Idea through Esthar's radiant chaos, racing to intercept the lunar Pandora, the colossal obsidian leviathan, its jagged spires dwarfing the city's crystalline towers, its arcane conduits casting an eerie glow as it drifts ponderously overhead, stirring awe and dread among citizens. Some frozen in both fear and awe, others fleeing for their life, their voices a cacophony beneath the city's neon-lit spires, forged in the Sorceress War's technological crucible, now trembling under the Pandora's shadow, its scale a testament to Esthar's ambition. The party surges along moving walkways and glass transport tubes, Esthar's futuristic arteries clogged with crowds, forcing them to miss the first boarding point as the monolith passes them by, Selfie urging them to continue as they commandeer a Esthar vehicle left in the panic, speeding towards the second boarding point, weaving in and out of moving and motionless vehicles alike. Quistis displays a technique and precision beyond her years behind the vehicle's wheel. Arriving at their second opportunity to board, they are intercepted by Galbadian soldiers, clad in crimson armour, descending from the Pandora to block their path, their rifles blazing, forcing a fierce clash. Zell's fists shattering visors, Selfie's nunchaku whirling, Quistis' whip cracking, Edia's sorcery flaring in radiant bursts, the skirmish a blow of steel and sparks amidst Adele's faded wards etched into plaza stones. Undeterred, Zell's gruff resolve drives them forward, Edia pointing to an empty pedestrian transport making use of its speed they board, but soon realise it will overshoot their destination. Now, travelling next to the gigantic Pandora, draped in its shadow. Edia uses a slow spell on the transport, buying enough time for Zell to punch through the glass and create an opening. The Pandora approaches, and a platform pulsing with arcane energy appears, several stories up the wind beneath them, and the cries of panic in the distance. The party take a deep breath and acknowledge the risk that just be taken in the moment. Leaping toward the Pandora's shadowed hull, their hearts steeled for the mission to thwart its cataclysmic course. Thought of Squall and Renoa's lunar quest a distant pulse. As they are free-falling hope their calculations are correct. They can hear nothing, but they wind as they drop. They fall as a defiant spark, navigating Esthar's radiant sprawl to confront a relic of ruin. As they leap toward the lunar Pandora's shadowed hull, all but one sticks the landing. Edea mistimes, striking the edge and clinging desperately, before slipping into a free fall toward Esther's gleaming spires, only for Zell with no hesitation to dive after her, catching her mid-air, his heart racing as he wonders why they aren't plummeting, until he glances back to see Quistis and Selfie, Quistis' whip lashed around his leg, hauling them to safety as they pull them up and catch their breath. The moment is fleeting, their united resolve propelling them into the abyss of the Pandora's dark heart, all with a flicker of courage against its looming peril. Chapter 17. Shadows of the Cry. With a civilization on the brink of calamity, Zell, Selfie, Quistis, and Edea plunge into the lunar Pandora's abyss, its cavernous interior a labyrinth of Esthar's ancient ambition, forged in the Sorceress War's crucible, a colossal nexus of obsidian and steel, its towering chambers laced with pulsating arcane conduits, crystalline caverns shimmering with prismatic light, and elevated walkways suspended over sheer, shadowed drops, their edges glinting with frost from the structure's mystic core, the crystal pillar, a relic humming with lunar energies, its presence a silent testament to Dr. Odain's hubris and Adele's tyrannical reign. The party battles through swarms of Galbadian guards, their crimson armour flashing under neon glows, rifles blazing, and unseen robotic mages. Sleek automatons cloaked in arcane mist, their energy bolts searing the air, Zell's fists shattering steel, Selphie's nunchaku spinning, Quistis's whip lashing, Idia's sorcery flaring, component placement, each clash echoing across the Pandora's vast halls, their thoughts churning with the task to halt its cataclysmic course, Quistis pondering sabotage of the pillar, Selphie questioning the mage's origins, Zell urging speed to the core, Idea warning of the Lunar Cry's looming threat, their plan a fragile thread of unity amidst uncertainty. Their advance falters when a massive robotic mage, its hulking frame aglow with crackling runes, intercepts them on a trembling walkway. Its energy blasts overwhelming their defences, almost impervious to their attempts on it, and haze of energy surrounds them, freezing the party paralysed with rage, Zell clenching, unable to break free. Force so strong they can barely let out a scream of frustration with their inability to respond to such assault. They are lifted off their feet and guiding over the walkway towards a bright crimson cavern, launched into it, sending them tumbling into blinding energy chutes, tunnels of searing light that hurl them outward, their bodies crashing onto the barren sands of Tears Point. The party barely can stand. As they limp up to their feet, they overlook a desolate expanse where jagged crystal spires jut from cracked earth, their facets catching the violet dusk. Arcane glyphs etched into stone pillars pulsing faintly, a sacred nexus of Esthar's mystic lore, now overshadowed by the lunar Pandora's monolithic bulk, its obsidian spires hovering ominously, energy banks solidifying into radiant beams that bind it to the point, the crystal pillars hum swelling, the party gazing in horror at their failure to stop it. Idea's voice a quiet murmur, warning that the lunar cry has begun, her words chilling Selphie's trembling frame, Quistis's clenched jaw, and Zell's resolute heart, his gruff command to fall back ringing out, urging retreat as the sky darkens with celestial dread, their effort a fleeting stand against a tide of cosmic ruin. Meanwhile, up in the cosmos, trembling with ancient forces, Squall, Irvine and Renoa's capsule streaks through the starlit void towards the lunar base, a gleaming orbital bastion suspended in lunar orbit, its sleek silver hull studded with crystalline panels, pulsing with arcane conduits, a marvel of Esthar's technological zenith. Born from a time of war and desperation to contain the force causing it, its sprawling modules, command centres, sealed medical bays, and surveillance domes, orbiting in silent vigil. A sanctuary engineered to balance the moon's gravitational pull against Earth's. Its sterile corridors humming with advanced systems surpassing even Esthar's radiant spires. Within the command centre, a stern commander questions the arrival of special guests, ordering heightened security around Adele's sealed chamber, wary of unseen threats as the base's capture system activates. Green holographic energy nets shimmering in sequence, each layer snapping as the capsule breaches like a bullet through space, slowing its momentum until it rests in the final net. Floating workers in Esthar space suits securing it with precision bring each capsule into the space station as they undergo the awakening process for its occupants. Squall awakes to the weightless sensation floating down form the capsule with the room to his knowledge upside down as the lunar orbit's crew gentle turn him, Irvine and Renoa around to land safely. Squall can hear the signals and voice over the intercom of incoming gravity to be engaged. As gravity engages, Dr. Piet, a composed scientist of the lunar base, their keen eyes reflecting Esthar's arcane expertise. Their pristine white lab coat sways as they steps forward to greet Squall with measured calm, guiding their path through the station's sterile embrace. Piet greets Squall as he adjusts to his own body weight again, delivering a letter from Esthar's ambassador urging Rinoa's transfer to the medical bay. Squall, eyes fierce, refusing Lunar Soldier's aid, carrying Rinoa's comatose form himself, her stillness a gnawing ache. In the medical bay, Piet's team seals Rinoa in a translucent capsule, its arcane locks impervious to powers or junctions, reassuring Squall her safety, urging them to the control room. Irvine noting Squall's fraying patience, his outbursts flaring, offering quiet support as they traverse gleaming halls. Dr. Piet revealing the base's purpose, designed to seal Adele from gravitational forces. Sorceress Adele rests in a crystalline tomb, suspended in the starlit void beyond the lunar base, her imposing form encased in a radiant prism of arcane crystal, its facets shimmering with containment seals, tethered by pulsating conduits to the station's silver hull, floating in weightless isolation where Earth and Moon's gravitational forces nullify her sorceress might. A silent sentinel watched by elite orbiters drifting in anti-gravity suits, their vigilant gaze ensuring the seal's unyielding hold, a testament to Esthar's resolve to bind her legacy of tyranny. In the control room, overlooking the moon scarred with crimson dunes, alarms blare, screens flashing as monsters mass in lunar formations. Piet gasping at the lunar cry stirs, a cataclysmic surge of beasts from the moon, a cycle of ruin that ravaged Esthar 17 years prior. Piet raising caution, many orbit workers flying out into the weightless space to attend to Adele's sealed form, ensuring the integrity of crystalline encasing, a bulwark against history's repetition. Yet the cry's onset signals peril, Piet urging vigilance to prevent another tragedy, summoning Squall to attend alone in case of emergency, his resolve a flicker amid the base's sterile hum, a fragile stand against a cosmic tide as Zell's defeat echoes in the stars. Squall and Irvine stride through the lunar base's gleaming corridors, the lunar cry's alarms fading to find alone in a tranquil observation chamber, its crystalline viewport revealing the moon's crimson dunes, where she greets them with a trembling apology, her gentle voice heavy with regret for the hardships her time-linking gift has wrought upon them. Squall and Irvine responding with steadfast understanding, Squall's scarred brow softening as he reassures her, affirming they grasped her intent to mend broken threads, hoping their efforts aided her. Elone's soft eyes glistening as she shares how the love she not know of and presence banished her isolation, fueling her resolve to press forward. Squall, voice taut with urgency, seeks her help, questioning how her power cannot reshape the past. Elone explaining it unveils hidden truths without altering history, allowing present actions to shift based on newfound knowledge, not the past itself. A revelation met with Squall's disbelief, his desperation surging as he insists on entering Rinoa's past to uncover her coma's cause, to warn and save her, Elone gently countering that her gift binds her to those she knows in both present and past, rendering Rinoa's history beyond her reach. Squall's stern resolve unbroken, urging her to try, demanding they go to Rinoa in the infirmary. their steps hastening from the chamber's sterile hum. Irvine's quiet support a steady shadow. Thoughts of Zell's defeat at Tyr's Point, and Adele's crystalline prison echoing. The historian's vision weaving a tapestry of desperate hope against a tide of cosmic peril, poised for a trial yet to unfold. Squall, Irvine, and Alone's hurried steps toward the lunar base's medical bay falter as red alert alarms pierce the sterile corridors. Intercoms blaring for personnel to converge on the med bay, Squall heart pounding, directing Irvine to escort Alone to the control room for safety, his lone sprint driven by Renoa's peril, only to witness a lunar soldier hurled from the med bay door, collapsing dazed as Renoa emerges, her trance-like gait shrouded in arcane mist and swirling mage energies, unresponsive to Squall's desperate calls. The mystic barrier repelling him with searing pain, his relentless charges met with falls and agony. Yet he trails her unyielding march through gleaming halls, where she breaches the control room. Guards dispatched in a flash of sorcery. Piet crumpling to the floor. Irvine shielding Alone behind consoles as Squall arrives, breathless, warning of Renoa's unreachable state. Piet's anguished cry rising as Renoa's fingers dance across the control panel, deactivating Adele's level 1 seal. The trio's attempts to restrain her thwarted by a surge of excruciating force, flinging them back. As Renoa drifts away, the moon's crimson dunes writhe with monsters, a tidal wave of grotesque forms surging toward orbit of the Mu's surface in a blazing torrent. The lunar cry's cataclysmic fury unfurling across the void, its shimmering trails of claw and fang a cosmic wound. Squall pausing at a viewport, frozen by the spectacle, and acts on instinct and rushes to chase Renoa's tranced state. He overhears orbiters in the hallways watching with murmurs of disbelief. Questioning the lunar Pandora's presence at Tyr's Point came to be, unaware of Esther's turmoil, their confusion pierced by Squall's urgent query about Renoa, their fingers pointing to the airlock further along. Squall pushing through the pain, sprinting parallel down the corridors, adjacent to the horrors build across orbit of the lunar cry. He arrives to see her, clad in a sleek spacesuit, vanishing into orbit, a dazed cadet on the ground, reeling in pain from his own encounter with Renoa, muttering she cannot free Adele. Squall seizing a nearby suit and ejecting into the starlit expanse, chasing her only to see he is losing sight of her. Fleeting form past orbiters returning to dock, their frantic pleas to halt ignored, their voices crackling with panic over the lunar cry's advance, and Adele's tomb risking Earth's embrace, intercepting and dragging Squall back to the base despite his desperate struggles, their warnings drowning his pleas. One orbiter's question of who unleashed this chaos sparking Squall's silent realization. Ultimecia's shadow looms, he thinks to himself. As he lands back in the airlock, he can only think of Renoa, flashes of her glance interrupted by the evil of Ultimecia and his inability to stop her. His return to the control room revealing a Renoa adrift in space. Piet's voice trembling, declaring her possession, warning she nears Adele tomb and how she can deactivate her captive, poised to be engulfed by the lunar cry's monstrous tide, the seal's breach imminent. Irvine's concerned glance meeting Squall's, his quiet insistence that this cannot be Renoa echoing in the sterile hum. A cosmos spiralling into ruin, Squall, Irvine, Piet, and Alone stand frozen in the lunar base's control room. Screens aglow with dread as Renoa, adrift in orbit, Her possessed form, shrouded in arcane mist, reaches the control panel tethered to Adele's crystalline cage. A radiant prism of containment seals, its pulsing conduits anchoring the sorceresses. As Rinoa deactivates the second and final seal, unleashing a hiss of smoke and pressure, the cage fracturing, revealing Adele. Her imposing form no longer dominated by her crystalline cage, a radiant prism tethered in the starlit void beyond the lunar base now broken. Its once shimmering seals now under the lunar cry's crimson tide. Her towering silhouette a monument of raw, unyielding power. Her broad, masculine frame sculpted with sinew, etched with faint black arcane markings that pulsed like veins of sorcery across her pale skin, remnants of Esthar's tyrannical rituals. Her angular face chiselled with high cheekbones, and a stern, unyielding jaw crowned by a jagged headpiece of golden wired tendrils, twisted like horns, a relic of her sorceress reign. Her long braided hair, as crimson as the lunar cry, streaked with faint silver hues, flaring defiantly. Her eyes ablaze with a malevolent crimson glow that pierces the darkness as she stirs, awakening within the fracturing prism. Her tattered, regal garb, shreds of once opulent fabric, clinging to her form, a testament to her fallen dominion over Esthar. The glimpse of evil etched into Squall's mind as the lunar cry's crimson tide, a roiling mass of monstrous claws and fangs, engulfs the picturesque moment. Hurling Rinoa backward with relentless force, her figure vanishing into the starlit void's darkness. Squall's anguished scream of her name echoing, drowned by Piet's urgent command to evacuate. Irvine ushering them toward escape pods. Elone grasping Squall's arm, urging him to protect Rinoa, insisting her heart calls for him. Squall demanding Elone send him to her past, her hesitant voice faltering with uncertainty. Their plea cut short by Piet's return, shoving them toward evacuation. The lunar cry can be seen breaching Earth's atmosphere, form the viewing windows as they make haste to the escape pods. Zell, Selphie, Quistis, Idea, and Odine, along with the whole of Esthar, are shocked in silence as they watch across the distance. Crimson tendrils pierce bright clouds, staining the sky a blood-red veil, descending upon the lunar Pandora at Tyr's Point, its obsidian walls turning translucent, revealing crystallized walkways and caverns like a luminous nervous system, enveloped by a rain of crimson sorcery. A blinding spark lancing through the cry, striking the crystal pillar within, igniting its mystic core. Up in the lunar orbit's escape bay, Squall resists the pod, his voice breaking as he vows not to abandon Rinoa, refusing to let her die, pleading with Elone to link him to her past. Piet warning the spacesuit's life support lasts 20 minutes, with 5 more at most in emergency reserves. Elone nods in agreement. Seeing the desperation in his voice and how a love lost is breaking him, she reaches for his hand and pulls him into the pod next to her. As Squall buckles in, the alert system now drowned out by the wave of the cry approaching. Piet. Irvine clutch at their harnesses, buckling them in, with Elone securing herself and clenching Squall's hand next to her. The pod launching just as the lunar cry's crimson mass, a writhing swarm of grotesque beasts, engulfs the base, its silver hull consumed by the monstrous tide. Squall's vision fading as he feels Elone's grasp, her face strained with desperate focus, attempting her first link to Rinoa's past, his gaze lingering on Irvine's steady resolve, as he sees beads of sweat drip down his brows as the pod is rumbling as the thrusters engage, Piet's tense urgency as the cry's beast can be heard over their own engine's roar. And Elone's trembling efforts, Squall unable to focus on if the silence is their escape or his vision fading, the pod's sterile hum swallowed by darkness. Adele's awakening a haunting pulse, fleeting visions of the witch seared in between those of Renoa's smile. He faintly hears Irvine and Piet's celebrations indicating some form of escape form the cry as he fades out of conciseness. Their escape, a fleeting defiance against a cosmic deluge, teetering on the edge of oblivion. Chapter 18. Whispers in the Void. In the annals of a cosmos adrift in chaos, Squall's consciousness fades within the escape pod's sterile hum. Elone's strained grasp tightening on his hand as their craft hurtles through the starlit void. Her time-linking gift plunging him into fractured visions of Renoa's past, glimpsed through others' eyes. Flashes of Renoa and Irvine trekking toward D-District Prison's stark towers. Her determined stride shadowed by resolve. Then Renoa and Zell in a quiet moment, her fingers tracing Squall's line ring, her voice soft with hope. Squall mumbling too far in his dream state. Elone's focus unwavering despite her faltering breath. The visions shifting to the clash at Galbadia Garden, Idea's sorcery clashing with their blades. Renoa's trance-like form radiating a faint, spectral mage aura. A ghostly silhouette shimmering around her. Her words to Cypher chilling, deeming him her loyal knight, proclaiming that the sorceress lives, demanding he unearth the legendary lunatic Pandora, hidden beneath the ocean, promising his dreams in return, Cypher's fervent pledge to do so piercing the air, Renoa's faint whisper of fear trembling through, Squall's heart seizing as he realises the silhouette is Ultimecia's, and her possession grips Renoa, only for a demonic distraction from his realisation, ghastly voice to snarl, sensing his presence, commanding him to flee, wrenching him awake with his own cry of Renoa's name. Elone collapsing from her escape pod's harness, exhausted, her weak voice questioning if he found answers to save Renoa, Squall, aiding her trembling form, admitting his uncertainty, Elone gasping, urging him that the past holds no sway. Only his heart's call to Renoa matters now. Her weakness in breath, fueling one last link to Renoa's nearest past. Squall's vision blurring into a vast open expanse. Renoa's thoughts echoing her longing to drift endlessly in space's silent embrace. Alarms blaring of fading life support. In reserves. She ponders on how helpless she is, that she literally cannot do anything but accept her fate, being used by a power she cannot understand and cast out into the nothingness, an image left seared into Squall's mind as he awakes from Elone's dreamscape. A desperate plunge through time and space, seeking a heart lost to cosmic ruin. In the tapestry of a cosmos veiled in crimson ruin, Renoa drifts weightless in the starlit void, her spacesuit's visor reflecting distant galaxies, her heart heavy with fleeting thoughts of Squall, the futility of her final moments gnawing as her suit's alarm intones life support's end, her twirling form spiralling into silent nothingness. A whispered goodbye to Squall escaping her lips, only for a faint, unfamiliar voice to pierce her fading mind, urging her not to surrender, growing louder with desperate clarity. Renoa, it's Squall. His call echoing through Elone's fragile link. Her breaths shortening, eyes dimming with starry reflections, until her gaze catches her chain floating into her fading view. Squall's lion ring, and Zell's copy glinting. Spur in her trembling hand to press the emergency reserve, a hiss of depleted oxygen reviving her. Her voice crying her location to Squall into the void. Aboard the escape pod, Squall rises, resolve hardening, declaring his intent to reach her, defying Irvine's and Piete's warnings of certain death. Elone's concerned gaze meeting his soft thanks at his sister, lingering with a smile as he ascends to the airlock hatch, launching into orbit's cold darkness, instinct guiding his propulsion jets, life support alarms blaring until a distant glint. Rinoa's form draws him closer. Their collision a fierce embrace, her arms clutching his suit, their visors touching in silent relief. The lunar cries crimson tide, a distant swarm of monstrous forms across the horizon of space, receding from view, unveiling a majestic airship, its sleek, dragon-like hull gleaming scarlet and silver, wings curved like a celestial beast, its arcane thrusters dim, adrift in serene defiance of the chaos. Squall, grasping Rinoa, urges her to hold tight, her grip tightening as he burns his suit's last fuel and oxygen, propelling them to the ship's airlock, the hatch sealing behind them. Relief washes over as they realise there is oxygen aboard, and it begins flooding their lungs as they remove their suits. Their survival a fragile spark amidst thoughts of Adele's awakening. The lunar Pandora's crystalline pulse. Before Squall has a chance to inspect further, in the Ragnarok's airlock, Rinoa's trembling arms envelop Squall with a fierce, tear-soaked embrace, her heart pouring boundless love, a silent hymn of gratitude for his unwavering resolve that saved her from the void's cold grasp. Each shuddering breath slowing as she embraces his warmth. And he does her. The ship a lifeline for their eternal love. Squall steps back after the embrace, and with the leadership and sternness Rinoa would always see in him, he declares they need to find a way back and to explore the ship. Cradling fragile hope, Squall and Rinoa wander the Ragnarok's sleek corridors, their breaths steadying after their tear-soaked reunion. The airship's scarlet and silver interior gleaming with Esthar's arcane craftsmanship, its control panels pulsing softly as they uncover scattered notes and flickering record entries in a deserted bridge chamber, detailing the ship's storied flight history. One of 3 elite vessels forged 17 years ago during the Sorceress War, named Ragnarok for its dragon-like might, tasked with covert missions to quell Adele's tyranny. Rinoa marvelling at its resilience, her voice soft with awe at Esther's ingenuity. Squall's keen gaze tracing the log's accounts of daring raids, his low murmur noting the ship's likely drift in orbit since Adele's capture, abandoned yet preserved in the void. Their musings darkening as security cameras flicker to life, revealing grotesque monsters prowling the decks and corridors of the ship. Their bulbous, violet-hued bodies rippling with sinewy limbs, eyeless heads pulsing with bioluminescent nodes, and jagged maws dripping acidic ichor. The Propagator's alien forms a chilling legacy of lunar origins. Blood-streaked research papers clutched in a nearby console, revealing their relentless breeding and slaughter of the crew. The only path to the cockpit through the beasts. Rinoa's hand trembling as she whispers of their eerie menace, Squall's resolve hardening, his fingers gripping his gunblade's hilt, vowing to clear the ship of these horrors to secure their sanctuary. A resolute stand within a vessel adrift, poised to reclaim hope from the jaws of ruin. Cradling fragile hope, Squall and Rinoa hearts steadied after their tear-soaked reunion, navigate the Ragnarok's scarlet and silver corridors, leveraging its arcane layout to purge the propagators. Rinoa deftly manipulating the log room's control systems to seal bulkheads, releasing one violet-hued monster at a time into the cavernous cargo hold, where Squall ambushes the hulking propagator, its eyeless head pulsing with bioluminescent nodes, sinewy limbs thrashing, acidic ichor spraying as his gunblade carves through its bulbous frame in a fierce clash. His strikes exploiting the hold's narrow choke point, felling it with a final ringing slash, one by one clearing the herd. Squall venting their lifeless husks through the cargo airlock into space's void to halt their alien reproduction. Their path to the cockpit strewn with the crew's fallen forms, bloodied remnants of Esthar's bravest. Rinoa's camera feed signalling clear, they ascend to the cockpit, its dormant panels flickering, a distress signal looping, Squall retrieving an access card from a nearby body to restore power, immediately sparking communications from Esthar's air station to anyone out in orbit, their voices incredulous at the Ragnarok signal when Squall's replies, trawling for lunar base survivors, guiding Squall and Rinoa to set coordinates with dwindling fuel, plotting a course through Earth's atmosphere. Squall settling into the pilot's seat, relaying data with steady focus. Rinoa's admiring gaze tracing her hero's resolve. Disabling the gravity generator to conserve fuel, Squall watches Rinoa float, her gentle drift carrying her to his captain's chair. Landing softly in his lap, her arms encircling him, his hands cradling her back and legs, their shared embrace a haven as thrusters flare, their conversation deepening over shared losses, friends, dreams, yet finding solace in their bond until re-entry's turbulence jolts. Rinoa heads to the adjacent seat, Esthar's comms crackling with confirmation of the lunar base's fall, demanding to know who's aboard, Squall identifying himself as Seed from Balaam Garden, naming Rinoa, the air station's shocked reply. Rinoa, the sorceress? The declaration piercing the air. Her sad, shame-veiled nod, confirming her inherited power. Squall, as white as a ghost, looks across in silence at her, unable to muster a response. The static-laden comms, repeating demands for her containment and arrest upon landing. Squall's hand slowly leaning over and silencing the radio, his gaze meeting her scarred expression. Their silent drift toward Earth's glowing horizon, carrying an unknown fate. Thoughts of Adele's crimson-eyed awakening, the lunar cry's tide, a love-tested resolve against a world poised to judge.